Actually, speaking of risk management, you know, to be honest, I've actually, I'm 52 years old. I've been enjoying the outdoors since I was, you know, in my 20s kind of thing. After university, I lived in a place called Fox Creek. If you look up Fox Creek on a map, you'll see that it's in the middle of nowhere and surrounded by forest. So whether it's camping or fishing or hunting or snowmobiling, I've been out in the wilderness a lot. And over the years, I've gotten in a few pickles, and I've always gotten out of those pickles. You know, I've had some bad injuries, some severe cuts and things like that, and I've made it out. And I've been in situations where, you know, a truck is stuck or equipment is damaged or whatever, and I still make it out. And I've learned over the years that planning is important, and I've learned that it's amazing what you can endure, you know, and how hard you can push your body. And I credit that with, you know, I credit the outdoors and I credit hiking with saving my life. And there's a story there. On December 13th, in a couple of days from now, will be the 2-year anniversary of my accident on the St. Lawrence River. So it's a complicated story, but I was on a canoe that capsized, and we couldn't salvage the canoe, and we had to swim, and it was on a river on December 13th. It was a practice run for something called ice canoeing. Anyways, I swam to shore. I swam a couple of 100 meters to shore, and by the time I got to shore, you know, I can tell that whole story, but I was hypothermic and in deep trouble, but I survived. And unfortunately, there was 5 of us in the canoe, and a gentleman by the name of Daniel, our captain, Daniel did not survive. He didn't know how to swim, so it's a scary event. But I can honestly say I didn't panic that day. I just did what I had to do. I just swam to shore, and I was very calculated in everything I did, and then all the steps I took afterwards. So I credit the ability, I credit having experienced hardship in the past for surviving that very, very, very unfortunate accident. So maybe I'll do a separate video just to commemorate that and talk about what happened that day. It is a tragedy. It was a bad event, but I survived it.
Sun in the morning makes a huge difference for us because it allows us just to dry the condensation on everything. I've said it so many times. A tarp like this will weigh probably an extra half a pound with all the water. So it is currently 7:52. We don't leave until about 9, but it is worth waiting for that sun to peek through there and dry some of this stuff. Totally worth it. Morning routine's almost always the same. You know, get up around 6:30, start a fire, get some water boiling for the coffee, and then slowly eat, and then, you know, do some toiletry, and then slowly start packing. Everybody has their own routine for packing. I like to, you know, roll up my sleeping bag, my thermarest, and then pack everything in the order that, you know, I roll up things in the order that they go in the bag, and then last thing, you know, when your bag is almost finished being packed, you put your food on top that you're going to need for the day. And then last thing I always do is sit down in that chair and put on my boots and my socks and my boots, and, you know, get ready for the day and start walking. We were out of camp almost bang on 9 o'clock every morning, except for a couple of days where we left a little bit earlier, 8 o'clock. I'm going to show you the walk to the outhouse. That's it. And if they're good, they didn't build it too high. So far, we only had one site where we had the green fiberglass thrones. Every other site has been a log across 2 trees and a pit latrine. Oh, look who I met on the trail. JT's gonna try out the bathroom. See, his legs are longer, so he's not gonna dangle from it. I dangle.
Yeah.
How tall are you?
I'm only 6 feet.
6 feet? Yeah, well.
Morning of day 7.
Oh man, that's a long time. I've beat my record by a couple days.
We're gonna get going soon
Yeah,
here.
psychological bonus, right? In the morning when the sun comes up, psychologically it just raises the spirits.
Yeah.
We were looking forward to knowing we had a tough day today, but now that there's sun like this, yes! Woo! Yes!
Marty's not wrong.
Conquer that creek.
While stuff dries off at camp, let's come check out the lake. That's pretty. Brewster's wall over there.
Somebody went through a lot of effort to build these seats and we didn't even use them. More like couches. All right, we're ready. Morning of day 6. Got a few creek crossings, so Jeff's wearing shorts. I mended my pants last night. I like the pants because if I'm fording and I got my pants over my boots, it's kind of like gaiters. The water doesn't get in as much. We're gonna get soaking wet for the first 7-8 kilometers, but then once we get to the pass, we can just dry off and finish the day after that.
Start of day 7. This is a long one. I think we're over 25 odd kilometers. And one pass. And a shit ton of river fords.
I'm wet. Ford number 1. Camera's lens is foggy, but you get the impression. Wow.
So for the time being, I'm keeping these on. To be completely honest, they feel great right now, but it's flat terrain. But we have a bunch of creek crossings, and if it's all flat, it'll be wonderful.
And now we start the slow climb towards Glacier Pass, our third big pass of this trip. Let's see how this goes. Little camp. This will be our 4th ford. 4. Where we're heading. Wow.
Okay, we crossed about 7 times now. I think there's only 30 more to go. But we picked a great day for it. It's nice and sunny, and the water feels good on the feet. It's over there.
Ford number 11. They're getting shallower. Ish.
Crossing number 15. there's Glacier Pass where we're going now. Not the saddle, this little dip right here. And look at this, it's barely a cloud in the sky. There's the moon. What a beautiful day.
So we were on the other side of that wall. That's Mount Percé, meaning pierced. So the arch is on the other side of that. That's Mount Vega, and that's Noonday.
So after the last break there, I took my insoles out of my boots and swapped them and put them in my water shoes. So there's not so much pressure on my heels. At the moment, it's working out pretty good. Just a little bit more barrier between the rocks and the bottom of the shoe. And a lot of this is kind of horse stuff like this. So it's kind of soft on my feet as well. So for the morning, this has made all of the difference. Just having my feet work properly. I just gotta be a touch more careful where I step, that's all. Back down the valley where we came.
This is where we're having lunch.
This is where grizzlies hang out for sure. There's one right there. Look at him, hanging his clothes up.
Well, I gotta say, going back to the water crossings and everything, going up towards Glacier Pass, that was a beautiful day. It was sunny, it was bright, the water felt good on the feet. I mean, the only thing that would have made it absolutely miserable if we had the same day as we did on day 2 or 3 where it rained the whole time. That would have made it terrible. But as luck would have it, that was a great journey up to the pass. Going up to the pass, though, it was a different scene. It was short trees. It was kind of barren. It was very, very, very much grizzly territory. I mean, my head was on a swivel, and by that point in the hike, we're kind of all walking at different kind of paces, and I was way further back. I actually at one point thought, I know the pass is over there, but I'm starting to head this way, but this is the only trail. The trail's nice, it's very established, but I kind of second guessed myself for a little bit, and I kept calling out and I wasn't getting an answer. Because usually when we call out, hey bear, if a guy is further ahead, they might go, hey bear, so you know you're following someone and everyone's in the same vicinity. I didn't hear it, but then I found them having lunch, or it's getting ready for lunch. After lunch, we went actually into the pass proper, and I think hands down, that's probably the most beautiful pass in my view that I've done. Just for the sheer plateau that you have to go across, because many passes you go up and then over and down. This when you come up, you plateau, and then you come down. And it's a good 2 kilometers of plateau.
Lunch break, mac and cheese. Back on the trail. That's the view we had for lunch.
We're about to crest Glacier Pass. We're about to see something. Here's what the other valley looks like. Oh wow. Ah, gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. That's one of those moments where you're you're kind of wondering, what am I doing here? You know, it's so much hard work. But the hard work, when you've been hiking a long time and you look at a big slope like that, you know in your head, I know in my head that no matter what, I'm at the bottom today, now, and in an hour and a half, I will be at the top. I just gotta, you know, everybody has their own mental games. I'll do something like 20, I'll pick an object up ahead and I'm gonna go up to that rock, and then I'm gonna take a break. And then when I'm at that rock, I look at the next one, I'm gonna go to that little shrub, and then I'll take a break. So you do whatever you'd have to do, but because we've hiked before, I know that the day will end. And sometimes I remind myself of that. It's like, you know, you're in the morning and you say, well, the evening will come, the afternoon will come. So however I feel now, I will feel differently in 10 hours or 12 hours. So the day will come. And because long distance hiking like this is as much of a physical game as it is a mental game. It's not for everybody. There's a lot of discomfort. You know, we were wet a long time. Or you're hot and you're being eaten alive by mosquitoes. You might miss your family. So it's as much a mental game as it is a physical game.
Just cresting Glacier Pass. Wow. I think that was a glacier, but it's gone now. Either that or something further ahead. But man, this is kind of like McLaren, Pobocton, all that put together. It's beautiful.
That's the ancient wall, but the other side of it. Here's the border. Farm restrictions. Possession of firearms is prohibited at all times in all areas of this park except within the town site or on public highways or with a permit from the superintendent. National Park boundary. "7 years imprisonment for removal. Canada Lands Survey." Glacier Pass, 2,288 meters.
There's National Park boundary. So as of this sign, I'm in Willmore Wilderness. I'm in Jasper. I'm in Willmore. I'm in Jasper. And me and the boys took a little photo. 10K to Spruce, 20 to Little Heaven.
JT, your third pass in 7 days.
7 days, yep.
Good job.
Beautiful.
And they're all different, aren't they?
Yep. You got the gorgeous lake at it.
I thought this one was going to be rocky on the other end. What do you guys say? Shall we go and take a dip in the lake? I'm almost tempted.
At least rinse off.
All right.
One word.
Speechless. I think, man, gravel was better. Man, this is gorgeous.
I haven't really seen a pass like this. I mean, maybe McLaren came close, but like, I don't know. I take this over hardscrabble.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, I don't fault you for it.
That's a welcome sign.
interesting.
Well, there's a fire pit right there.
11:15.
Fire pit illegally. Well, there's a fire pit, so legally you can make a fire. What a gross.
Oh wow, it's a big porch. Vega Warden's cabin. Whew.
Vega cabin. Look at the view from this cabin. Look at that wall. Holy shit.
No. Sign. 500 meters.
511. Here's Spruce Tree. Holy firewood. I was not looking forward to day 7 because day 7 is the day we were gonna climb up from Brewster's Wall, follow Glacier Creek up to Glacier Pass. And by looking at the map and from some intel that I'd gotten from people prior to the trip, we knew that we were going to have to ford that creek all day long, as much as 30 times. And didn't know what kind of environment that was going to be like. Well, it turned out to be an absolutely fantastic day. So it was like 30 degrees, not a cloud in the sky. I mean, when I say not a cloud, zero, just blue. And the valley is actually is not treed. It's just a valley, and in the valley there's a creek that just snakes up down from the pass. And basically you follow the valley, and the creek is always there, and you just have to cross the creek. So we all kept our boots on or our shoes, and we walked in a straight line, basically crossing this creek every couple of hundred yards. And we crossed it, 39 times, I believe, in the morning. But a gentle climb all the way up to the pass, and then our lunch at the pass was absolutely spectacular. So, a day that I had dreaded turned out to be an amazing day that I won't forget quickly. Glacier Pass is gorgeous. We had lunch there, then we continued down. And then from there we rolled around, went by Vega Warden cabin, and then ended up back at Little Heaven. No, we ended up at Spruce Tree. Sorry, Spruce Tree. Didn't go all the way to Little Heaven. And Spruce Tree, I'd been there previously, and I had bad memories of Spruce Tree, but then when we showed up, it was absolutely a gorgeous campsite, water nearby, easy to go wash up in the water, lots of space, beautiful sun. Everything about Spruce Tree was excellent. All right, I'm not gonna show his butt, but you can see if he pokes up, there's JT taking a bird bath. I just did the same. You basically go into the creek wearing your Crocs and just splash yourself up and use a little towel and wash off some of the day's grime, and feels like 100%. And then because we left and it wasn't completely dry, everybody's drying their stuff. It's always great when you have a bit of sun to just dry. I'll repeat it, dry, 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 dry. Because dry prevents you from getting cold, prevents mildew, and it also reduces weight. So now we're here at 6:15. Almost everybody's done their routine. Camps are set up, baths are taken, showers. So now we're going to cook and enjoy the rest of the evening. Just another gorgeous meadow. I mean, you've seen one gorgeous meadow, you've seen them all, I guess. I'm doing this one again. I had this 2 nights ago, so a Knorr Sidekick creamy bacon carbonara. And on the instructions it calls for 1 cup of water and 1 cup of milk, and I happen to have powdered whole milk. And then Jeff donated his emergency supply of oysters. Woo-wee. The key is to get an oyster and some noodles. You kind of drained the oil out of it though, the other, or
A little bit.
yeah, because the other one was pooling on top. That was the best part.
That vac seal probably sucks.
It sucked it out. Yeah.
All right, what did you say today was? Day 7. Day 7 is in the bag. I was dreading day 7 because when we looked at the map, there was that creek and there was all those fords, but turned out to be a nice valley, a nice creek, easy fords, sunny day. Everything was perfect. So this was the day I thought I was anticipating as the toughest. Tomorrow's a long day. We got 26, 27 kilometers tomorrow, but we're all in relatively good shape and the light weights and everything else. So I think we'll be good for tomorrow. Anyways, day 7 is in the bag. We'll see you in the morning.